So Steph Curry throwing his mouth guard at a referee, and also Draymond Green and Bradley Beal getting into a fight, has caused a lot of people to call for these players to be suspended. But which players have gotten the longest suspensions in NBA history? In this video, I am going to go over the top 5. So I'm not going to go over drug bans in this video, because obviously there's a lot of players that have been banned for life from the NBA for that reason. Currently, Mayo is serving a 2-year ban, so I'm not going to be actually counting them. I know I've been looking at a lot of lists where they do count them, and a lot of people have Mayo at number 1, and the reason why he's not there is it's not even the longest drug ban in history. So I could make a completely separate list for that, but I'm not going to do that. And these are all players that have been suspended for non-drug related reasons. And number 5 is Stephen Jackson. In 2004, he actually went into the stands and punched a fan after a drink was thrown at his teammate during a game against the Detroit Pistons. This was the Malice in the Palace, which was one of the darkest days in NBA history. And this isn't going to be the last of that brawl in this video. Stephen Jackson got the second longest suspension of all people involved in this fight. At number 4, we have got Javaris Crittenton, who got suspended for 38 games, which was the remaining games in the 2009-2010 season when he played for the Washington Wizards. On the 27th of January 2010, he was suspended for violating NBA rules and, well, Washington DC laws by storing an unloaded firearm in his locker. The suspension was in 2010, but in December 2009, he actually pulled a gun on teammate Gilbert during an argument about gambling debts. He was then waived from the team and would never play another NBA game. And number 3 is Gilbert Arenas. The exact same incident. On the 27th of January, he was suspended, and during that same argument, he pulls a gun out at Javaris Crittenton. So both of these players pulled guns at each other. Arenas was already on an indefinite suspension from January the 6th while under investigation for carrying and storing unlicensed firearms. And so that's why he's ahead of Javaris on this list, and because he was suspended for 12 more games during that investigation. And number 2 is Latrell Sprewell, who was banned for 68 games, and it was actually originally supposed to be 82 games. On December the 1st, 1997, he choked, threatened, and punched his Warriors head coach PJ Carlismo during team practice. He was immediately suspended for 10 games. However, the Warriors actually terminated his contract 2 days later, and he was suspended for a year. Upon appeal, the contract termination was overturned, and his 82-game suspension was reduced to 68 games. So it's not as bad as it could have been, but at the same time, it's the second longest suspension in NBA history. And number 1, I told you we weren't going to hear the last of the Malice in the Palace. It's Ron Artest, or now known as Metta World Peace, who had an 86-game suspension, 73 regular season games, and 13 playoff games. On November the 19th, 2004, he entered the stands and grabbed the fan after a drink was thrown at him. This caused a large brawl with the fans, and after he left the stands, he punched another fan that came onto the court to confront him. And Ron Artest was suspended for the rest of the season, missing 73 regular season games and 13 playoff games. The Indiana Pacers were one of the favourites to win the championship that year, and the Malice in the Palace derailed their season and also suspended probably their best player at the time, Ron Artest. So anyway, that's the video. These are the 5 longest suspensions in NBA history. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.